This is Salt Lake Academy freshman sophomore team 1 taking on the Lehi Pioneers. That is Dane now with the ball on the right hand side, throwing it down the line over to Jaden. It'll be intercepted by White and it goes out of bounds. It'll be blue throw-in at the top of their attacking third on the right hand side. Pioneers are in white and Salt Lake Academy is in navy blue. That ball goes out of bounds. The call is White throw-in. White throws the ball in immediately, covered up by number 25 and Jace forcing the ball out of bounds. It'll be another White throw-in. White throws the ball into the center. Jace there on defense. White gets the ball over to the right-hand side, crossing midfield over to the forward on the right-hand side. Ball played down on the right-hand channel. They're able to connect and ball is kicked out of bounds. It'll be White throwing at the top of their attacking third. That was number 16, Jonah, I believe, who kicked that ball out. Yes. White throws the ball in. That is River, who's on defense, kicks it back. White resetting all the way back to their keeper. And the keeper plays it on the ground on the right-hand side, building up from the back on the right. White, and that ball goes out of bounds. It'll be blue throw-in, just past midfield on the left-hand side. Jonah looking to throw the ball in. Cash to River. No, it goes to River. Ball goes back over to Jonah. Pass intercepted by White. White now crossing the ball in the middle. Pass intercepted by Alejandro. Alejandro, one touch over to the right-hand side over to Jaden. Jaden's pass is intercepted by White. And White plays it down the left channel. Alejandro has time and space to get there, but White is putting on the jets. And Alejandro is able to get that ball over to Jaden. Jaden to Dane, one touch over to Jace. Jace takes a moment. His pass is intercepted and kicked out of bounds. It'll be blue throw-in at the bottom of their middle third. Jaden throws the ball into Cash. Cash thighs the ball over, back over to Jaden. Jaden back over to Alejandro. Alejandro switches it over to the left-hand side over to Chris. Chris with time and space, no pressure, entering the bottom of the middle third, kicks the ball up on the left-hand side, and a heavy touch. It'll be White who emerges with the ball. No, and a foul is called against White. It'll be a free kick about 15 yards. No, the call was against the Griffins. Free kick for White about 15 yards past midfield on the right-hand side. The ball is kicked up, goes left of the post, and White is keeping it in bounds, down against the line, just outside the box. They clear it up to the top. Jace is able to get there. Ball delayed and a shot goes wide left for White. The wind picking up now. Ball on the left-hand side over to Chris. Chris gets it up to River. White is able to intercept the ball. White in front of their own bench puts the ball into the middle. And that pass almost intercepted there. 25 dislodges the ball, gets it over to River. River plays it over in the center. His pass intended for Cash is intercepted. White just at the top of the box, and Alejandro will kick it out of bounds on the left-hand side for SLA. It'll be White throwing about 15 or 16 yards out. On the right-hand side, they throw it back just a bit, and River is there to put pressure on. Ball is kept in bounds by White. White cycling it amongst their defensive line, moving it across laterally to midfield. And Dane is able to dislodge the ball, but White will recover the first. That pass there is intercepted by Jaden. Jaden taps the ball away, has some options, and White gets there first and resets back to their keeper. Alejandro heads the ball down. White will maintain possession of the ball, though, on the left-hand side. Moving over to the middle, 25 fighting in for it. And a foul called against the Griffins. It'll be a White free kick. About 20 yards of the, so at the bottom of the middle third for White on the left-hand side. A left-footed kick over into the center, makes it all the way to the right-hand side of the circle. White plays it over to the far right flank in a 1-2 pass intercepted by Cash. Cash gets the ball up to 14, 14 to 25. 25 hits the ball back over to Alejandro. Alejandro over to Chris. Chris on the left-hand side to Jonah. Jonah back over to Chris. And Chris, his pass was deflected out of bounds by White, and it will be a throw-in. The bottom of the middle third for SLA on the left-hand side. Jonah throwing the ball into Cash. Cash gets it back over to Jonah. Jonah right-footed, swings the ball over. It's chested down by the captain of Lehi. Alejandro is able to get there, though. And that ball goes far out, and it will be stopped by the Lehi keeper. Dane with the challenge on the right-hand side inside the attacking third, trying to cut the corner, unable to get there. Working the left side, keeps the ball inbounds, lays it off over to Jace. Jace crosses the ball over and brought down by White, and then cleared out by the defensive line. And Chris is able to get that ball down to the feet of Jace. Jace, ball tackled away. Jaden, and then Cash on the left-hand side is able to regain possession. Cash, the ball tackled away, and a foul called against Lehi. It'll be a free kick for SLA at the top of their attacking third. Jace takes a shot, and it goes high above the crossbar. Lehi kicks the ball slightly to the right-hand side, headed down, recovered by Cash. Ball through, ball just outside of the box, and he's called offsides. White past midfield. Alejandro is able to get there. 25, ball dislodged. White at the top of the circle, approaching the attacking third, left-footed cross, stopped by Alejandro. Picked up by Dane. Dane plays it over to Jace. Jace 1-2 to Jaden. Jaden in the middle of the pitch on the left-hand side, moving more towards the center, giving instructions. Plays it over farther to 25. 25 shoots, deflected, lands right in front of Jace, who fell down, and it'll be White who clears the ball out on the left-hand side. Dane trying to get it on it. The ball is called out of bounds. It'll be White throwing. Ball intercepted there by Cash. Cash plays the ball over to Jonah on the left-hand side. Jonah immediately met by two players. In trouble, is able to dish it out over to 14. 14, ball is kicked out of bounds by White. It'll be blue throwing just past midfield. Jonah throws the ball down the line intended for number 18, but White gets there first. 25 is going to recover, crosses the ball over to the right-hand side, looking for a runner. He's got Dane on the right. Dane stopping the ball before it goes out of bounds by the corner flag, moving more towards the box, moves to his right, trying to beat his man, crosses the ball in front of the box and cleared out by White. Cash trying to get there at the top of the D. White gets there first, though. White looking to clear the ball out on the right-hand side. White controlling the tempo, moving the ball inside the middle circle now at midfield, playing the ball on the ground on the left-hand side, connecting to a pass. White inside cross, and it is going to go just wide of the net, and it will be picked up by the Griffin keeper. Ball is rolled out to the right-hand side to Alejandro. Alejandro puts it up the middle channel up to Jace. Jace now approaching midfield on the right-hand side, slots it into the center. Ball crossed over to the far right-hand side, looking for Dane. It's a race to the goal line, and Dane is able to keep it in bounds. Dane, and that ball is towed out by Lehi. It'll be blue throw-in by the corner flag. And it looks like SLA is making a couple of substitutions. 21, 6, 7, and 10 coming on. 19, 5, 25, and 14 coming off. Jaden throws the ball in. And not the touch he was looking for. Ball kicked up at the top of the box. White now on the counter attack, playing the ball on the left-hand side. They've got a runner. Alejandro slows the ball down, maintains possession of the ball, plays it over to the back center, over to Chris. Chris moves the ball to the left-hand side, tries to get it up to Nolan, as it'll be too far over to the right-hand side. White, ball intercepted there by Hudson, and Hudson resets back to the keeper, who with his right foot lobs it up. It'll reach just before midfield. Ball being headed around. 18 to Nolan. Nolan slots it up in the middle, brought down by Hudson. Hudson breaks a tackle on the left-hand side, slotting through over the right, just on the right-hand side of number 7, and it is kicked out of bounds. That's Adrian, kicked out of bounds by White. It'll be blue thrown about 17 yards out, and SLA taking this time to make another 3 substitutes. Number 12, number 13, number 22 coming on. 15, 16, and 18 coming off. Ball thrown in to 10. Over to Nolan. Nolan with his right foot moves the ball over, shoots on the right, and it goes in. Nolan with his first goal of the season puts one in from distance. And the score is 1-0 in favor of the Griffins. Kickoff for White. They play the ball back to their defensive line, move over to the right-hand side, and up against the right line. White cuts back, falling down, and the call is white ball. It'll be a free kick for White over on the right-hand side. Bottom of their middle third, right-footed kick up high into the center, slightly up against the wind, headed down by Chris. White will recover the ball. And a foul called against Adrian just past midfield for White, and it will be a free kick. White puts the ball into play quickly. Up into the center, White entering the attacking third. Hudson is able to get a body on that, recovered by 22. 22 plays it back over to 12. 12 back over to Alejandro. Alejandro slots it up over to Nolan. Nolan 2 touches up over to 10. 10 plays it down the right-hand side to Espen, 22. Espen turns the corner back over to 10. 10, Talon giving instructions on where to go. Talon lays the ball off over to Nolan just inside the circle. Nolan plays the ball back over to Chris on the left-hand side. Ball played up to the right-hand side. Talon makes a turn looking for help, working the left side. Cuts back instead, plays the ball over in the center over to Nolan. Nolan about 40 yards out, winds up and shoots again, and it'll be scooped up by the keeper. Nolan wanting a miracle 2 times in a row, but not gonna happen. Ball drop kicked immediately by White. Alejandro will get there. He passes it back to the keeper. Keeper plays it over to the right-hand side over to number 12. 12, a little bit too much space given, and White was able to challenge. 12 recovers though. 12 down the right-hand side line. Ball headed back up to Dane. White is going to recover this one though. White on the left-hand side, crossed into the center. Pass intercepted, recovered by Talon. Talon in midfield, the middle of the circle, plays it over the left-hand side over to Adrian. Adrian plays the ball back over to Chris. Chris back over to Adrian. Adrian in trouble in traffic. And he's able to recover, gets the ball back over to Chris. Chris tries to slot it up to Talon. Talon's able to make the turn, keeps the ball on the left-hand side, and the ball is tackled away, but not before he fouled. Adrian places the ball quickly, looking to put the ball into space, but they elect to run more of a set piece, and Alejandro will be kicking the ball from the far left-hand side at the top of their middle third. Alejandro, right foot over to the right-hand side, and it goes wide right, and it was deflected, so it'll be a corner kick in favor of the Griffins. SLA taking a moment for a substitution. Jonah coming in for Chris. And the Pioneers are also taking a moment to switch out. It looks 3 or 4 players. Ref gives the whistle from the corner. Movement in the box. Here's the run up. Left-footed kick, and it'll go be deflected and kept in bounds. Down, Talon, ball in the box. White is able to get it out. Still in their defensive third, though. Working the left-hand side, approaching the middle third. Time and space crossed into the center. Ball maintains in the defensive half for White. White playing it in the middle, and it'll be 12 who gets the ball over to Espen on the right. Espen quickly flicks that ball up, and it's going to be too much. It'll be picked up by the Lehi keeper. Drop kick to the left-hand side this time. White is able to get a good foot on that one, and the ball will roll to the feet of Jonah, who kicks it back to the keeper. Keeper with a bit of pressure is able to fake a guy out, gets the ball over to Jonah. Jonah chipping the ball up into the center, looking for Talon. It's going to be a little bit too much, but Talon is able to make a connection there and gets the ball over to Hudson. Hudson over the left-hand side over to Adrian. Adrian on the left, crosses the ball with his right foot, and it's going to go well out of bounds. And we'll take a pause. You see the bus in the background. That's Messi, Lionel Messi, coming onto the pitch, or onto the grounds. Left foot from the keeper. Ball crossed over to the right-hand side. It's kicked out of bounds. It'll be blue throw-in. And another substitute here for SLA, 18 coming on, Dane coming off. Ball thrown into the box. White gets there first. And a pushing foul called against number 13, and it'll be a free kick for White on the far right-hand side. The bottom of their middle third. Ball played back to their center back. Up to the center. White cuts in. Talon is able to dislodge the ball. White recovers those, switch it over to the right-hand side. Adrian challenging for the ball, and a foul called against him. Ball kicked up into the box and is scooped up by the keeper. Ball yeeted out over to the right-hand side over to number 22. I believe that's Espen. Espen plays it up in the middle over to Talon. Talon crossing midfield on the right-hand side, looking for help. Dodges a tackle there, gets the ball over to Nolan. Nolan moves over to the left-hand side, plays it over to the left, number 13. 13 back over to Nolan. Nolan under pressure, gets the ball back over to Alejandro. Alejandro plays it back over to number 12, who came streaking in, and it will be White throw-in. Ball thrown down the left-hand side, and the call is blue throw-in. Nice diving move there by number 12, keeping the ball out of bounds and away from White. Ball thrown in, up over to Hudson. Hudson with a move, keeps the ball. Oh, pass intercepted. White now in the attacking third. Nolan gets the ball out. Espen, heavy touch, but somehow gets the ball past midfield. White will maintain possession though. White now on the attacking side of the half on the right-hand side. Looking for the right winger. They are able to connect in front of their own bench. They play it farther down the line, and Jonah is able to cut his man off, get the ball over. Adrian is able to dislodge the ball, and a foul called against White. It'll be blue free kick about 20 yards out on the left-hand side. Ball put into play to Nolan. Nolan back over to Jonah. Jonah swinging the ball over to the right-hand side. Over to number 12 in front of his own bench, and it's a little bit too far. The score is 1-0. Nolan scoring from distance. White throws the ball in from the left-hand side. Challenge, Talon emerging with the ball, moving to the right-hand side now. Talon flicks it over to Espen. Espen back over to Talon on the right-hand side. Talon looking across. He's able to connect, but White will get there first. And White looking to clear it out of their defensive third. They play it over to the laterally to the right-hand side. And ball cleared up over to the far right. They've got a runner, and Jonah will be running there to cut him off. White just outside the box. And ball cleared out, deflected, and cleared out by Alejandro. White at the top of the box, fakes a shot, left-footed, and diving case saved by the keeper. Ball kicked up over to the far right-hand side, headed down by White. White at the top of the circle in their attacking half. Moving the ball more towards the center, they lob it up, and it's not able to connect with their runner, and the Griffins keeper will be able to pick that one up. Griffins yeeted over to the right-hand side, over to Talon. Talon against the right line, taking on a couple of men, plays it over to Hudson. Hudson looking for some help, but likes to play the ball back over to Alejandro. Alejandro back over to Jonah. Jonah plays it wide left over to 13. 13 over to 7, Adrian. Adrian just before midfield on the left-hand side, bringing the ball across, looking for some help. Plays it back over to Nolan. Nolan swings the ball over the right-hand side over to Talon. Talon now entering the attacking third. Tackled away by White. And White approaching midfield, playing it up down the gut. White now over on the left-hand side. Blues' defensive shape is kind of falling apart. White about 6 yards out, ball crossed over, chested down by Alejandro. Nice fake move there by number 12. Gets the ball up over to Espen. Espen over to Alejandro. Alejandro right foot up to midfield. White will bring it down. And a foul call, or sorry, injury. Injured Griffin down, and it looks like 5 Griffins are about to be substituted out. Number 20, 25, 19, and 15. 21 coming out. 6 coming out. 13 coming out. Ref about to put the ball back into play. White with the ball just before midfield, playing it over to the right flank. Connecting a pass there, challenged by the Griffin defense. Moved over to the right, still into the attacking third. Jonah is able to cut off the pass, making the cross. White just inside the box on the baseline by the 6-yard line. Wind up shot on the ground, blocked by the defensive line. White will recover, shoots again from distance, diving to the left. The ball goes wide left. The score still 1-0 in favor of the Griffins. White will pause the play for a moment, making a quick substitution. Alejandro, right-footed kick up the middle. Jace is able to get a toe on it, slow things down. Ball recovered back over from 18 to Jace. Jace to 25. 25 switches the field to the right side over to Jaden, but it's going to be too much and it'll be White throwing. White throws the ball in. Espen wins the tackle, plays it over on the far right-hand side, and it'll be cleared out by White. That one going over the rafters there. That one kicked all the way to Lionel Messi. And it will be SLA throw-in at the top of the attacking third. Jaden throws the ball in, down on the ground. It'll be kicked up, batted around, and kicked out of bounds by Blue. It'll be White throw-in by the corner flag.
There is another punt right by the...
Ball thrown in, down to the line. White challenged by Blue at the top of their box. Jace challenging, dislodges the ball, and White, oh, Adrian almost had a shot on goal there, but has moved just before. White keeps the ball in bounds. Adrian challenging. White keeps it down the right-hand line, then puts it into the center. White progressing the ball forward, putting the ball up. 1-2's ball dislodged. It'll be recovered by 25. 25 turning around, plays it up over to 18. 18 stutter step over, moves more towards the center, plays it on the right hand side to 15. Jaden, and shoots, and it goes well wide right. Left-footed kick from inside the box, intercepted by Jaden. Jaden now approaching the attacking third, about 18 yards out. Plays it over to the right-hand side, wind up in a shot, intercepted and deflected by White. 25 will recover, cuts back, ball dislodged, and shot. That one's well high, and it will be goal kick for the Lehi Pioneers. A couple of substitutes for the Pioneers, and play will resume here momentarily. Right-footed kick from the 6-yard line, up high, and Jaden is able to connect with the ball. It is out of bounds. White throws it in, throws it into the center. Moves over, challenged by Blue. Ball is able to connect. White cycles the ball to the center of the pitch, swings it over to the right-hand side of the bottom of their middle third. Ball moving 1-2, nice footwork there. Ball past midfield on the left-hand side. Pass intercepted there by Jace. Jace gets it over to Espen. Espen plays a through ball on the left-hand side, and Adrian's called offsides. Right-footed kick kept up on the right-hand side. Ball played over to the left to Chris to Jonah. Jonah up over to 25, ball dislodged. White will recover past midfield. Adrian challenging for the ball. White resetting back to their defensive line and then going all the way back to their center back. Ball swung over more towards the center. Griffins with a high press now. Espen causing confusion. The blue back heel pass over to Espen at the top of the box. Plays over to the right hand side. Oh, just behind him. 18. Moves back just in front of the box and cleared out, and a foul is called against White. This one will be about 8 yards up on the right-hand side from the baseline. So this will be Jace who will be taking the kick. The angle is not ideal, but the opportunity is welcomed. Signal given. Ball chipped up over to the far left-hand side, headed just wide left. What a connection. Unlucky that it didn't go in. Beautiful kick. And a couple of more substitutes for SLA. Number 12 coming on, number 8 coming on, number 15 coming off, and number 22 coming off. Big goal kick here for Lehi. Right footed kick kept up over on the right hand side, headed back. Chris is able to connect and head that ball, unable to connect with his teammates though. White will regain possession. They flick it past midfield. That'll be intercepted there by the Griffins. Dane is able to get to the ball first. Lays it off over to number 12 to Alejandro. Alejandro about 25 yards out, plays it parallel to Chris up in the middle to Cash. Cash up to Jace. Oh! And Dane challenging for the ball. It's going to roll off of his left back heel. Should be White throw-in, but the call was blue throw-in. Dane throws the ball into 25. 25 using his body, he's able to get the ball. White clears it out though. White plays it up in the center, and on a 1-2 combination has 12 running back. White in the attacking third on the left-hand side, about 7 yards out, crossed and cleared out by Chris. That ball is brought down again by the original kicker. He's looking to turn the corner, being held. No foul called. Ball played up over in the center. White winds up, feigns a shot, plays it farther wide right. Be attacking from the right-hand side in the attacking third. Ball dislodged, chested down by White against the line. Adrian dislodges the ball, makes a sharp turn, and is dispossessed. White maintains possession in the attacking third, plays it over at the top. Alejandro with the tackle, gets the ball up the middle channel. Ball past midfield, but White is going to get there first. They elect to reset back over to their keeper. Keeper over to the right-hand side, bottom of the middle third on the right. Working the right line on the 1-2 combination here. White has done wonderful with that. Blue kicks that ball back. I think that was Hudson over to 12. 12 over to Dane. Dane now gets the ball up in the middle with a little bit of space. Challenge, the ball is loose. White will recover in midfield on the right-hand side. And Jonah is able to break free, get the ball loose, play the ball down the running line, and it's going to be a little bit too much, and the Lehi keeper will clear that one out past midfield. Nice touch there by 25 for Blue. Right-footed kick, switched over to the left-hand side. White attacking the attacking third. Move the ball into the center. Jace is able to get the ball out, and Alejandro gets it back over to Dane. Dane immediately under pressure gets it over to Jace. Jace gets the ball through somehow to Dane. Dane plays the ball up in the center. His pass will be intercepted. Reset back to the keeper, who plays it right back up the gut. White plays it back to the right-hand side. Right back moving the ball up to midfield. And there's an injured player for the Griffins. That was the slowdown.
It's going to be okay, Jaden.
And it looks like number 14 will be coming on.
Breathe in and breathe out, Jaden. You got this.
It's River coming on for the injured Adrian. And both teams making a couple more subs. 21 coming on, 13 coming on. I believe that is number 18 coming off, and Jonah, number 16, coming off. White plays the ball in on the right-hand side in front of their own bench, under trouble. River putting some pressure on, play the ball back. White plays the ball in the middle to the center back. The bottom of their middle third playing over the left-hand side. Ball played up the gut, intercepted. Jace is able to get there. Jace looking to turn the corner. It got nowhere to go against the line. It gets it down and it will be recovered. Gets the ball, intended for Hudson. White intercepts. White plays the ball over up to the middle. Challenge there by Cash. White over on the right-hand side. Challenge there, a breakthrough on the left. And it gets past, and the keeper will play it. Loose ball, kept inside, inbounds. And they get it up through the midfield. White looking out to get it in the attacking third, and they boot the ball away to the Griffin keeper. Ball rolled out over to the right-hand side to Alejandro. Alejandro over to Chris. Chris about 25 yards out, plays it down the left flank over to 25. 25 cuts back onto the inside, dodges a tackle, maintains possession, lays it off over to Cash. Cash plays it up in the center, intended for Jace, not there. White gets the possession, play it up, a 1-2 combination there, and a foul against the Griffins. That was number 25 from behind, and it will be free kick opportunity here for Lehi. This is a few yards before the circle in midfield, slightly on the right-hand side. Ball kicked up high over to the right, brought down inside the box. White still with possession by the corner flag. River challenging, ball cut back in, and the ball goes out of bounds. The call is corner kick. No, the call was a foul. A few yards by the corner flag. This will act essentially as a corner kick. White with a scoring opportunity late in the first half, down 1-0. Left-footed kick crossed in the center, punched out by the keeper, 18 yards out. White will recover the ball. Swarmed by blue, ball dislodged by Jace, I believe that is. Jace, his pass intercepted. Jace dislodges the ball again over to Hudson. Hudson now with the through ball, who lets it run through. He would have been offsides anyway, and it goes all the way to the keeper. Ball rolled out over to the right-hand side. Ball played over to the right, and it'll be 25 who gets the ball. 25 go back over to Chris. Chris resets all the way back to the keeper. Keeper takes a couple of touches back over to Chris. Chris down the middle channel. White touches it, but 25 is able to recover. 25 cuts back, plays it off over to Cash. Cash just before midfield. And that is the half. The score 1-0 in favor of the Griffins.